Elizabeth from Psychology for Geeks. Thank you for joining us today for another episode of A Pinch of Everything. Today we're going to be talking about Thriller Bark episode for One Piece. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, and David is also here.
Hi. I too exist.
Anyway, moving on. This arc, okay, I was like surprised about how short it actually was.
You know, right?
Yeah, because I don't know, like I don't know, and it's like, okay, so we're recording this and in September, it probably not gonna release until maybe like November or something, I don't know. But it gave me like Halloween vibes. Like so much Halloween vibes, and I was like, dude, I wish I was just reading this for the first time like around Halloween time. That would have been like so epic.
It would have gone exactly with the vibes.
Yeah, but I didn't. I read it ahead, and like I kept bugging David, because I wanted to record. I need to finish. I need to know what's happening next. Anyway.
Oh, you'll find out. You'll find out. It'll be some time, but you'll find out.
Well, okay, so I found out Ace isn't dead. He's dying, potentially. I think he got captured by the Navy at this point. So he's not fully dead. So, okay, that's okay. I get to have a little bit more Ace before he kicks the bucket. But okay. I don't know. I guess I can just get started and okay, so my first thing that I put here is that the captain of the crew is the charismatic leader, and the first mate is like the law and the brains. But I hesitate to add like the brains because in the Straw Hat crew,
that is absolutely not the case.
yeah, I mean, sometimes I think Zoro, when he's like truly needed, he is there. And I want to talk about like his huge moment that he had at the end of this arc, but later, so we can geek out more. But not always the brains there. Like, you know, when he's needed and nobody else is around, like when Luffy's not around, he kind of does rely on like other people, maybe more on like the girls, Nami and Robin, to like knock some sense into him, or maybe even what's his name, Usopp, because he's always scared of everything. But when Luffy's not around, he does like majorly steps up.
Absolutely.
So I know you said that there's like a bunch of like different islands. Like before even I started reading, you said like each island is like completely different. I know there's like ghosts and giants and aliens. Did I hear correctly, or did I remember correctly that you said at one point there's like dinosaurs?
Well, yeah, don't you remember
dinosaurs.
Little Garden?
Oh, that's right. In Little
That
Garden,
was so early on.
Sorry, I forgot. Like, anyway, but is there any other like mythical or ancient creatures I should know about? Because I guess I'm just curious.
Hey, remember the misadventures of Flapjack?
Yeah.
You know how Captain Knuckles was looking for Candy Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
It's real.
Okay. Are you saying it's the One Piece?
No, I'm just saying Candy Island exists in One Piece. Like, islands literally made out of candy.
Wait, but it's not like a person made out of candy, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's an entire island. With their own candied island ecosystems, I guess.
That would actually be kind of fun to go visit every now and then. I would hate to live there, though.
Dude, the cavities, bruh?
Not only the cavities, but like... Oh, okay. You love sugar. You're like a sugar fiend. But like, I don't know, like sugar sometimes makes my tummy upset. Like it's just way too much. And then you're like, oh, I don't know, I need something else that's not a sweet. Like sour. I love lemons and limes.
Well, there's sour candies out there. And there's also no sugar candies. They don't taste that good, but they exist for some ungodly reason.
Okay. Let me clarify then. I'm not really a big candy person, but if it was like a chocolate island, maybe.
Dude,
You know?
yeah, they have chocolate in there. I think there was an entire house made out of like chocolate or something.
Nice. That would be my house.
No, it wouldn't.
No, because there would be like holes in the walls everywhere. Because I just like reach out and like.
Yeah,
take a
that's what I'm
chunk.
saying. You're gonna have to have like a repair crew coming every like what week or something like that,
Probably.
and then a crane to take you out of there.
No, I would not want to be taken out of there. I would just live there for the rest of my life. Okay, so like when the crew was deciding like who was gonna go to the island or who wasn't gonna go explore the island, Nami's like, I just caught the Kengo on the island right now. And I was like, oh dude, I'm gonna start using that whenever people invite me something, and then I'm like, oh, I just caught the I can't go right now.
I can't do that right now, disease. It's very rare and it only happens to me specifically right now.
Whenever I'm too shy to actually say no, I don't want to, because then I feel awkward, I'm just gonna start saying that. I just
Yeah.
caught the I just can't right now.
I got the I don't want a disease.
Can we talk about the Mini Mary?
Wait, hold up. Can we talk about the fact that they have their own Bermuda Triangle?
Okay, so I think I came in with like already some sort of expectations, because I kind of through you I
Yeah.
had some ideas of stuff, you know? So I kind of knew that there was a lot of references to sort of like our own world, because, you know, pirates and stuff, like some names, certain things are kind of like taken from our own world as inspiration. So to me, it wasn't like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it wasn't a big of a deal. I was kind of like, oh yeah, cool. Like that's kind of how it is, you know? But then I moved on to see what was happening in the island.
Wow.
Were you like super excited about it?
Not that I was excited. I was more like the world building, you know? Because, like, yeah, sure, it makes sense to us, but at the same time, it's like he didn't have to put that in there, but it's in there.
But he
And
kind of
that's
did.
interesting to me.
But he kind of did, because it just makes it so much more fun, doesn't it?
And it's more piratey. Because, like, remember the, what are the Disney movies about pirates?
Pirates of the
blanking at
Caribbean?
them. Huh?
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. You know how they have so much, like, weird pirate lore and a bunch of curses and witches are real and kind of situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, like, gives me that kind of vibe when they were talking about the Florian Triangle and a bunch of other superstitions and myths. And, like, how there's, like, sea gods.
You know what it is? I think we hit that time where now it actually feels like they're pirates, because at the beginning they're just kind of like this mismatched group of people that are going on like really fun adventures, helping friends, gathering friends along the way, but now they're actual pirates, you know? If it wasn't because like the Navy's after them and they have like a bounty, like most of I guess the previous arcs didn't feel very piratey to me, but this one kind of did.
They felt more revolutionary rather than piratey.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, I can see what you mean about like, you know, adding that, having the, what is the Floridian Triangle?
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how it's a Floridian Triangle, you know, like weird things happen, and we in our world we have like the Florida Man, where weird things happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah. Let's see. Wait, can we talk about the Mini Mary?
The Mini Mary.
It's so freaking cute, David. It's so adorable. It was just like a baby ship, and then like the way it comes out, it's almost like the bigger ship. Like the Sunny is like giving birth to a tiny baby Mary boat.
Ew, that sounds gross. No, Liz, why would you do that? My ears.
It's funny.
My poor innocent ears.
And it's cute. Birth is a natural part of nature, David. It's good. It's a good thing.
Whatever you're saying.
So okay, quick question, because they kind of, I don't really remember if they actually answer this question, but is any three-headed dog considered to be
Cerberus?
Yes.
Well, yeah. The whole point of well, I think that's where the first mythology came out, like the only three-headed dog that anybody can think of usually ends up being Cerberus.
Well, I
The
thought
guardian of hell.
I just thought that was the dog's name.
Cerberus?
Yeah.
Probably.
And then so like in
Could also be Jorge.
or Juan. But like I guess that's one.
No, wait, hold on. Are each head like individually named? And if so, calling one, does that force the other two to have to wake up or whatever and go with the one that was called?
I guess. Can you imagine? You know how like most moms, whenever they're calling you, they call like everyone's name but yours, and then they get like super frustrated and they're like, "You over there, come over here."
Yeah.
Can you imagine like just having like one 3-headed dog? Like I feel like I would be like my mom, where I would just call like all of the names. Well, but I guess it will make sense because either way, the dog is coming. Because even if I call the wrong name, still it's coming. You know?
Yeah.
Because they're all sort of like attached. Never mind. That was dumb.
But back to the Meanie Mary, that was when I first saw that. That was such a cool moment, especially like for the other Straw Hats that were like, "Holy shit, you know, that's so cool. We got like a memorabilia. No, not memorabilia, but an ode to our original ship." And then I was like, "You know what, Frankie? You're really cool."
Dude, that is exactly what I thought. And I was like, not only did Frankie like make them like a super awesome ship, like to their specifications, but he also like went like a step above and beyond and like just like made something to, for them to remember like their previous ship. You know, it was like, because he knew, like he was with Frankie. He was with Usopp.
Yeah.
You know, when he was going through the whole thing and he saw how difficult it was for them to lose to Mary, you know, he was with them throughout the whole thing. So it was just a really, really nice touch of him to like add that there.
You're so fucking cool, man.
Yeah. Yes. I agree. I completely agree. Okay, now let's get to the spooky shit.
Yay.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Really?
Yeah. But why would I?
You're Mexican?
Well, yeah, so are you.
I believe in ghosts.
Yeah, but you're terrible at cooking.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're Mexican.
Oh. Still.
See my point? See what I'm saying?
Still.
Picking up what I'm putting down?
Still.
Still
I
awful.
never seen one per se. Not that I want to either. I like am really scared. Like I was talking to my friends once, like a long time ago, and I was explaining to them that to me, like the scariest movies or like the scariest thing is like a ghost, right?
Yeah.
Like ghost movies, because like if like a psycho killer or whatever is like chasing you, like, you know, yeah, that sucks, but like people can help you out. You can try to beat him. You can run away.
You can always do something.
Yeah,
but
but
for
what are you supposed to do
ghosts-
with a ghost? There's nothing you can do with a ghost. I mean, like, I guess you can try to exorcise the ghost or like go.
Yeah, make it run in an elliptical.
Wow, David.
Give us some
No, no,
protein
no.
powder
No.
and have us some gains.
Okay, we haven't
bruh.
even talked about Brooke, but you're already like starting with the dad jokes. Please, no dad jokes. Like, I honestly,
Yo,
I
ho,
didn't
ho,
really
ho, ho.
think any of Brooke's jokes were funny.
How dare you? He is a hilarious skeleton man, okay?
No, they were kind of like too on the nose, like too. No.
Wait, have you seen the episode where he his intro episode? I told you to watch it.
I forgot. Okay, so my idea was like I was gonna take the dogs to the park. I was gonna finish the last few chapters of it, and then I didn't even realize that the last few chapters that you told me to read actually included his like backstory.
Yeah.
They were sad. I was kind of like
Yeah.
busy like making sure the dogs weren't being like super mean to the other dogs at the doggo park. So I wasn't like fully in it, so I didn't really cry, but I was kind of like, oh, my heart. Like it got to my heart, and I was like, oh man, I cannot believe this guy was like 50 years in that boat by himself.
Yeah,
Bro.
alone. Completely
yeah.
and utterly alone.
was
This
still-
motherfucker is insane
He
at
was
this
still
point.
super like freaking positive about everything.
Well, he kind of has to be, you know?
I wouldn't be after like freaking a week by myself.
That's just a testament to the type of person that he is. He's not someone to easily give up.
But he also had like the goal of like going back to keep the promise to his friends. So I think that kept him going. But still, 50 years is a long time, man. Anyway, point being, No dad jokes, David. No. Stop it.
Yeah.
I wish I had like one of those like spray bottles. Be like, no, David. No.
It's not gonna reach. You're gonna need like a super soaker or something like that.
I
But
know,
if you
that's
do
what-
that,
That's why
that's a forfeit on your life. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't want to hit your computer either.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
It's a
that's why I
forfeit on
miss-
your life.
I miss when we would record like side to side.
No.
I kind of do
No.
like having the microphone to myself, but I also miss having you here because then I can just be like, stop it, David. No.
Never.
Anyway, I do believe in ghosts. Why don't you believe in ghosts? I actually didn't know this about you.
How do you not know this about
I
me?
don't know.
It's the fact that even if they do exist, why do I care? Like, I have never experienced a ghost in my life.
Well-
And everything can usually be explained rationally, right? And not only that, like, every time I watch any sort of like ghost documentary on YouTube or anything like that, it is so easily debunked.
Bro,
It's like,
no,
oh,
no.
why did their cameras that are supposed to be really good, why are their qualities so shit and so low?
That's like a completely different story, bro, because those are not like freaking real. I believe those like rural ones were like, they're like, yo, I was going over there and I saw like a freaking massive dog with red eyes or something, you know?
Yeah, but if you believe in this specific saying, believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see, ghosts all of a sudden become fake. Absolutely and utterly fake.
Well, that's if you don't see them.
Well, yeah.
Well, but David, but wouldn't that also like take into account the fact that like you can't see your like organs?
No.
Wait, do you also not believe in your organs?
What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, but there's proof of organs.
Is there though? No, I'm just kidding.
Literally, yes. Get out of here. You're fired. This podcast is mine now, and all we're gonna do here is do dad jokes.
No,
Yes.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I love dad jokes, but I just the ones Brooke told
Hey.
were just like not
Hey.
really funny.
Hey,
What?
what's a skeleton's favorite meal?
Huh? Ribs?
Spare ribs.
Yeah, not even a chuckle, bro. Anyway, moving on. Wait, I don't even understand my own notes. What is this?
What the fuck did you write?
This is what I wrote. I was like, the zombies having horrible insurance. I would rather die than run.
What?
I don't know. I have an LOL afterwards, so it must have been funny.
It's like, no, guys, trust me. I'm the funny one.
Not insurance. I think it's supposed to be assurance.
How does that make any sense either way?
It doesn't matter.
me.
But the zombies were funny. Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Hey, look, it's an old man with a bunch of scars.
Bro, no. Even before that, when the crew showed up and like they were like, "Boo, we're zombies," and then Luffy just like pushing back that one zombie like down to the grave. He was like, "No."
He just slowly and calmly pushed him back down. And he was like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be scared of me. I'm a zombie.
Wait. Give me a second. I just thought of a meme I want to make with that. I have to write it down before I forget.
Lamau.
Okay, so it was yeah, it was really funny how he did that. Like nobody like wait. So we are trying to make this podcast make sense because both of our brains don't really stay on topic. So we actually discussed some of the major points we want to talk about today. David, you want to like go ahead and talk about Team A and Team B?
Yeah. I love the dichotomy between Team A and Team B. Team A being the people that were sent out of the ship first. I think that was Nami, Usopp, and Chopper with Robin?
No.
Or was Robin with Team B?
Yeah, Team B.
Yeah, they sent them out first, and everything happened the way that it was, supposed to happen. They ran away from the dog. They got scared shitless by all the other zombies, and it was basically the Halloween vibe that you're expecting when in a Halloween vibe island ship. But when Team B starts coming out and rolling about, they are so strong and so confident in their own abilities that as soon as they meet the first big, like, scary obstacle being the Cerberus, they make fun of it for having a fox head. And then it starts becoming self-conscious about that, and they start laughing about him. They're like, "Ah, no, it's okay, little buddy."
I just love the fact that Team A was like adamantly like being like, no, there's no way I'm getting off. I'm staying in the Sunny. F that, the island, nah, you guys go, we'll stay here. But for some reason or other, they're the ones that ended up in the island, and the other ones had to stay back until they were like, I think we should go look for them now.
Didn't they like pull straws or something like that?
No, because they were just testing around the Mary. So the what is it? Team A just got on the Mary, and they were just gonna like, I guess pilot it around and then bring it back so Team B could use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they got lost because.
Lamau.
Yeah, I just thought it was
No,
so
no,
funny.
they pulled straws to see who would go with Luffy to meet Brook. That's when that happened. I fucking love that. You guys were supposed to stop him from doing that. Hi, I'm now part of your crew, says Brook.
I love how they were just kind of like, yeah, we didn't really care. And then the zombies started getting like scared of them.
Yeah. They were like, wait, you guys are supposed to be scared of us. And then they were like, no. You don't understand. You're trapped here with us.
Was it later on that they find the Jack in the Box?
Oh, I don't remember that bit.
Bro, neither do I. But I remember that this happened because then I asked you what the name of a mimic was. Because it reminded me of it. But I don't know. I guess that was just my note. That's it.
At some point, they had a Jack in the Box with a zombie inside.
No, bro. I can't even. When they came across that ghost girl, and then like they were like, "Oh no, I can't go on anymore." And then Zoro was like, "You guys have no discipline." And then he was down, and then he's like, "I'm sorry, I was born."
Like immediately he was fucking down and he was like, "No guys, now I understand your pain."
I just thought that was so funny. And every time, like every like negative sort of emotion that pop up, they're like, it was just so funny. I think that's the only one that I wrote, that I'm so sorry I was born. But all of them, like every time anybody got like passed by that
I think someone
ghost,
said I wanted to be a clam or something like that.
Yeah,
Or maybe was that
Luffy.
Zoro?
No, I thought that was
I don't
Luffy,
remember.
Yeah.
I like how Usopp was the only one that like could stay standing.
Bro.
Look at that boy.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me oh yeah, okay. That was the one thing that I wanted to talk about like quite extensively, more in like the mental health field. Because I don't know, it was like a really cool thing. But oh no, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Got him.
Wait, you said something about Usopp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just thought that it was like really cool how Usopp was like not affected by it, like at all. It reminded me of like, that's my secret, Captain. I'm always like anxious and worried about something. I'm always
That's my
depressed.
secret. I'm always scared. I'm terrified right now. I was terrified an hour ago. It never goes down.
That was suck, because I feel Usopp. Like I don't think I've mentioned it in this podcast, but I am taking medications for my ADHD, which also helps with anxiety. And then I'm also going to therapy. I'm really trying to work on my own mental health as well. And through that journey, I've realized like how much anxiety I actually lived with. But it was so normal to me because it was like I was like Usopp. Like I was just anxious all the time and I didn't even know it. So like my threshold, like imagine a roller coaster. Like, when you're going up, that's when like the anxiety comes, right? And then like it goes down and then you're having like a lot of fun or whatever.
Yo.
I was always at the top of that. Like I never really came down. And then so when things would like cause me to like become anxious or stressed, like my whole world kind of like started crumbling because I was already so high up, like when it came to anxiety. So little things that I perceived other people just cruising by and not like managing really well. And I couldn't, like, they would just like completely destroy me because my level of anxiety was like super high already. And so now that I'm like really working on my own mental health and on my anxiety and my ADHD symptoms, and I'm doing all this stuff, I realize, oh, yeah, I had so much anxiety. That's not normal.
Yeah, you had so much anxiety to the point where it was kind of covering your ADHD.
Dude, for real.
Like as soon as you started taking anxiety meds, your ADHD just flourished.
It really did. Like, it would like the anxiety was sort of like keeping the root of the problem was the ADHD, not so much the anxiety. I feel like the anxiety was like the secondary to it. And now that I'm actually like paying attention to the root of the problem, which is the ADHD symptoms, I'm not as anxious. I'm still anxious, of course, about things because I'm only human. But also, life makes you anxious. I'm an adult. I have bills I need to pay. All of that makes me anxious and whatnot. But it's not to the same level as it was before. So I completely understand Usopp right here. And I feel like if I was like him, I don't know. Did you think it would work on you if a ghost went through you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not that negative or depressed. I think the weakness of Perona is quite literally someone who's able to manage those negative feelings the best.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because it's not that, because you said I'm not that depressed or like anxious about things, but it's
Yeah.
I'm a very positive person all the time. Even when I'm depressed, I'm still like try to be positive. And look at the bright side of things. But I still get depressed. So a lot of people think that, oh, you're depressed, like all you can think about is negative thoughts. Like that's not really how it happens, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's why Usopp was able to sort of like overcome her attack, because not only was he highly aware of his own thoughts and how negative they tend to be all the time, but he has come to terms with them. He's like, yeah, I'm a negative person. Most of my thoughts are negative. This is how I've survived. This is how I manage them. I have a team. I have a crew. All of that like helped him, because otherwise I feel like he would have like also like crumbled down if he allowed his negative thoughts to rule over him.
Honestly, I believe that pre-Water 7 Usopp would have fucking crumbled. Like, to dust. But post Enies Lobby Usopp, probably not.
I completely agree with you. Canelo, stop it. Canelo seems to agree as well. Yeah, I think he went through like this phase because when the crew first met him, he was very much like he was just lying left and right.
You would tell really, really big lies.
Yeah, and then so like it was almost like, I mean, he was doing like telling lies to try to protect himself, to try to sort of like keep up the hope that his dad will come back again, especially after his mom got really sick and then eventually died. Like he was trying to like just survive. And afterwards, when he realized that, hey, I have a crew and they really have my back, it's almost like he stopped lying, because he was also the point where he stopped calling himself Captain Usopp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he no longer needed that lie in order to like keep him going or to give him hope. He already had a crew. He already had support. He already had more to look forward to. And then he was also in Water 7 when he started realizing his actual potential as what is he? The sharpshooter?
Yeah, the sniper.
Yeah. So he was kind of like, yeah, even if he was like pretending not to be Usopp and be like the one other guy, like it still worked. Because he still had a lot of skills that he could offer the crew. He could still like help a lot. And then so I think that helped him too. And so like for us in like our own regular life, like that's also helpful too. Like finding your own crew, finding the things that you're good at, because we all have the one thing that we're good at. We all have some sort of talent. I mean, of course, it might not be like, picking up an instrument and immediately knowing how to play it, or just watching someone do it. It might not be that, but you still have something that you can offer other people, something that can help your own mental health. Yeah, and I think, you know what, I didn't think about this, I didn't write that down, but you know how before he was basically like the one repairing Mary every time they got into trouble?
Yeah.
And he was kind of basically like doing the jobs of two people when he had like zero like experience in like repair work. But now that Frankie joined, that is one less thing that he has to worry about. So now he can fully concentrate on his own sort of like I guess responsibilities for the crew. So he no longer has to worry about, keeping the ship together, because somebody
Yeah, he
else
can do
that.
the things that he wants to do, and he is now able to do more preparations when it comes to like his battles or maybe just like day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
But also, I got a question, because you are a mental health professional. What kind of, not skills, but techniques? What kind of techniques would someone in Usopp's place would have to use to get rid of all that negativity?
David, you're the freaking best.
You smell.
What? Wait, I give you a compliment and you insult me right
I
back?
can't handle compliments, okay? You know this.
Well, I'm gonna start complimenting you a lot more. Exposure therapy, that's what it is.
Stop it.
Yeah, so that was part of my notes and something that I wanted to talk about. So yes, we are sharing one brain cell, in case you all listening out there were wondering. Chocolate. No, I'm just kidding. But actually not. So chocolate, like I mentioned earlier, is one of my favorite things. I don't really do candy, but chocolate, I love chocolate, right? So doing something or eating something that you really enjoy, like treating yourself to something. I also really enjoy drinking boba, but it can get quite expensive, so I don't drink it as much. Or I don't buy like really fancy tea because it can be really expensive. Look, I cannot, like, how... I started coughing because
Jesus Christ, are you alright? You're like dying over there.
No, it's because loose leaf tea, like good loose leaf tea. Why is it so expensive, bro? Why?
Because it's loose leaf tea.
I know.
It's got to be expensive,
But like,
right?
so treating yourself to something is good, right? It's all kind of like part of self-care, right? So we kind of already, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. We already kind of mentioned some of the things to help Usopp sort of overcome his own things, right? He had the support of his friends. Like, for sure, he knew that his friends had his back, especially after Water 7, He had...
Yo.
Oh, I thought you were...
No,
You
I'm just agreeing.
with me? Okay.
I'm with you.
Okay.
150%, bro.
He was no longer taking on other people's responsibilities, right? Frankie took over for his expertise. So that pretty much like lifted as like something like off his shoulders, like a heavy weight off his shoulders. He finally acknowledged the type of person that he was, and he asked for forgiveness and he got it, right? So it's not like he's carrying that guilt of like, oh, I abandoned my crew and I never asked for them, they haven't said anything. It's not like that. Like they flat out confronted the problem and everybody moved on after that, right?
Yeah, they faced the problem head on.
Yeah. And then immediately moving on to like doing something else. So like after Water 7, then it was after Enies Lobby, they came back to Water 7 and they helped like build like basically Water 7, because the whole thing was like freaking destroyed.
Yeah,
right?
just rebuild a bunch of buildings.
And then so it's kind of what we call like behavioral activation. So it's like just starting to move, because like when you're feeling really sad and depressed, like all the energy is like sucked out of you. You don't like the things. Let's say I know you enjoy video games and D&D, but
damn, skip it.
But if you're like really sad or depressed about something, or like completely stressed out, you're not gonna find any joy in those things. It's really hard to get you to like, find that happiness when it just doesn't feel like it, like it's not there.
Yeah, like if you're forcing it, and the more that you force it, the less that you want to do the thing.
Right. Yeah. So like what we usually suggest is like behavioral activation. Go on a walk. Like just get up from your bed, brush your teeth, like do at least one task a day, right? And then like the one thing I took AP Science or like advanced like science, which I think I just wanted it to look good in like my university, like my resume or whatever for university, because I don't like science or like the hard
What?
sciences.
But it's pretty cool.
But not in school, bro. Especially physics. I don't know. Like, it's just a lot of math and sciencey things.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I didn't like it. But the one thing that I kept thinking about, and sort of like the only thing I remember from the class that I took, is that the teacher said that an object in motion stays in motion and an object at rest stays at rest, right? So that's basically the idea behind like behavioral activation. Like once you get going, like your body / your mind automatically like start like, oh yeah, this is natural, this is something that we have done before. So you get started by just brushing your teeth, and then like, I don't know, you start washing your face, because it kind of it comes back to you like an automatic thing. So like going on a walk, even if you don't really have that energy, just go on a walk just around like, you know, your block, or take your pet out on a walk, you know, if that makes you just sort of get up from the couch and like do something that's really helpful. You know what's else really helpful? Like any other form of self-care can be good. So a lot of people are like, oh no, self-care, you know, face masks and taking bubble baths and I don't know, getting massages. I mean, I love all those things too, but you know what else is self-care? Playing video games, playing D&D, hanging out with your friends, geeking out, listening to this podcast. It's all self-care. So like just geek out, like schedule time, especially if you know like something is like you have a deadline coming up and you need some time to relax or something. Schedule time to do like a one-shot campaign, or like, you know, time yourself, do like 1 hour of video games and then get back to work, because that helps relieve that anxiety. Like that helps you get you back to sort of like I don't want to say normal, but almost like imbalance, right? Where like your whole system isn't like just overworking with like all those negative thoughts like going. So like it gets you back to balance because you're doing something fun, you're doing something that gets your mind off of that problem. And then once you go back to that problem, more often than not, it doesn't seem as bad as it was, you know, before you took a break. And or you might have like more ideas, more energy to like tackle it down.
It's like having a new perspective for the same problem.
Basically, yeah, it allows you to
the more
do that,
angles you have, the easier it is for you to deal with it.
Exactly. And I can go on, but you guys can also check out like my website or like my social media, Psych for Geeks or psychologyforgeeks.com, and I have like a lot more ideas of how you can like geek out and like take care of your mental health, like how to do geek self-care. So we probably should move on, because then I'm just gonna like end up talking for the rest of this episode about that.
Yeah.
So you know, one of the things I think at first when Frankie was first introduced, I just thought he was like so annoying.
How dare you? But yeah, I get it.
Like yeah, he kind of was. And why, like I just realized that I was like his whole little like Speedo thing that he's wearing, I was like, that's weird. And then later on I was like, oh, he's just so sensitive, like he made them marry for them, and he's just like, anytime like somebody tells him like a sad backstory, he's like, oh no, like, you know, he feels for people, and his emotions are very like, he wears his emotions like, and what is
on his sleeves, yeah. That's why a lot of people like him. He is pretty much like the older brother that just kind of like has a lot of confidence in himself, and he's willing to kind of like push you to do the things that he knows you're able to do.
Yes, and that's why I'm starting to like him too. Because I didn't even realize that he was still wearing the dumb Speedo. Because I was so focused on like, oh, how helpful he was to everyone and how thoughtful he was, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, I like Frankie. He's not as weird as I thought he was gonna be. I'm glad, because otherwise
he is one of the best Straw Hats.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good
older brother.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I realized that for the Sunny, Oda did a bunch of pictures drawing like what the inside of each like room in the Sunny looked like.
Yeah.
And like labeling them, because I remember at the beginning I was asking you, I was like, yo bro, like, where are the ship parts? Like, I don't know where like anything is in the ship or what things are called.
Dude, son.
And then so I was like, okay, so I saw that Oda did it, but I didn't really pay attention to like how things were labeled. I was like more interested in the inside of the Sunny than the actual parts, like the flags or whatever, or the mast, whatever that's called.
So
Yeah, but did he also do something like that for the Mary?
for the Mary, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure a lot of fans would have asked him, and at some point he more than likely would have done. Let me see if it does exist online.
Yeah, because I
Give me a
just
quick-
thought like, I figured like he did it for the Sunny because he was like different than the Mary. But then I was like, huh. Oh, because then I got like super excited because when we watched the live action one has a really nice Mary. Like all the inside of the Mary is like so cool and big and spacious. And I was like, I can't believe this is a ship. I just thought they were like all dark and dingy and like super like crowded inside for some reason. Can you guys tell I have not really been inside of a ship before?
Yes, yes, we can. Yeah, I see a bunch of drawings of the schematics of Mary. I don't know if it's from Oda, probably, because it is in his style. Yeah, he did.
I must have skipped those then.
Nah, it was probably like in a future SBS or just something that he put out on Twitter because he does have a Twitter.
Ah, man. Now that I'm like off Twitter, I'm kind of like, oh, I feel like I miss a lot of things. It's not like,
No, you're not missing anything. Twitter is a no good hellscape at this point, being killed off by some crazy guy.
well, but I also think that like social media is what you make of it, you know? Because I'm like, so I was listening to Trash Taste the other day, and Garnt was saying that's one of the podcast hosts, if you guys haven't heard of Trash Taste. But if you like One Piece and are listening to this, I'm pretty sure you know who Trash Taste people are.
Yeah, the anime people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, he was saying that he didn't really like where the One Piece like fandom was heading, and I was like, well, it's been like great so far for me, but it also like he has so much more exposure to it, you know, because he probably follows like a bunch of people. A lot of people follow him or like tweet at him. So but yeah, I can see why it can be very toxic in some ways because it's such a big fandom. It's almost impossible for that not to happen. But also just like keeping in mind like, you know, who you're following and who you're answering to. Yeah, I don't know, it can make your experience, like your social media experience, better or worse, you know. So far I had a really good experience with social media and I hope that keeps going. Oh, another thing that I wanted to mention that's a little off thing is that, you know, I'm pretty sure everybody know who Straw Hat Goofy is, huh? From TikTok.
Well, I mean, you can't really say that because people on TikTok might know who he is, but people outside of TikTok might not. It's kind of like a niche thing already.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, well, so he's a very like geeky person that reviews movies and stuff, and obviously, given the name Straw Hat Goofy, he loves One Piece, right? And then he was talking about how Frankie was modeled after Ace Ventura, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's why he has the hair. That's why he moves the way that he moves. And funnily enough,
also the shirts, like the Hawaiian.
yeah. And funnily enough, oh, I'm forgetting his name. Like the actual actor's name.
For who?
Oh, Ace Ventura.
Oh, wait, why am I forgetting too?
Yeah, I know, right?
No, wait. We can do this. He was also in The Mask. He was in The Grinch. No! Wait.
Jim Carrey.
Oh my
I won.
gosh.
I did
Like,
it.
dude, my
It was me.
mind was
I'm the winner.
totally blanked. Like, I had nothing.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's Canadian, so that's even funny.
You know, the one thing, because I had looked up, remember when we were watching the live action? I had looked up, like, where the Straw Hats were from. Like, I guess the original ones.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know if I looked up for Nami, but I didn't know she was supposed to be Swedish, apparently.
Was it Swedish?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Chopper's Canadian.
Yeah, and then Robin is Russian. I can kind of see that. And Brooke is supposed to be Austrian?
Yeah, you can kind of see that in his living model back when he had flesh and bone, not just bone.
David, we went over this no dad jokes. They're not funny.
No, I'm being literal. Back when he had flesh, he looked a bit
I
Austrian.
know, but you made it sound like a joke. Like you were like, oh, get it? I said,
No. I was just blanking on the words, bro.
Oh, well, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was like a really neat piece of information. And as you can tell, I'm really getting into this fandom because now I'm like searching One Piece stuff outside of like just reading the manga.
Yeah, we should probably start focusing up on what happened in the arc.
Sure. Oh, David, I was
What?
so freaking sad because that dumb doctor like used like the people for like or the pets for like experiments. You know, he was like attaching like random heads into like random like animal bodies and stuff. That
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Yeah, Hawkback is insane.
He's evil. He's probably
Well, yeah, so is Moria.
he's probably the evilest one that I've like come across so far.
Evilest motherfucker so far.
Yeah, in like One Piece.
Wait until you meet insert person here. Now that is an evil motherfucker.
It just like it reminded me of this thing. I was watching this YouTube video the other day where it was supposed to be like scientific, like horrible things, or I forgot what the point of the video was, but I learned that there was this doctor like somewhere in Europe that was trying to figure out how to do like transplants basically, and he attached like he basically made a two-headed dog, and like the second dog like survived for like a few minutes and then he would just like die. And I was like, the dogs had to suffer so much for that. And I was like, couldn't you just do like a leg or something? Like, what did it have to be the head?
They still have to suffer with the leg thing,
I know,
bruh.
but it's like I feel like it would be like a lot
It's
less than a
bad
head.
either way. And that's why they call it the Hippocratic Oath. Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah, I mean like
Because it's hypocritical.
there is a lot of like really bad like science that was done by like a lot of people. Like even in psychology we had that as well. But that just
Oh, yeah,
makes
you
me
guys are fucked up.
No, you can't say you guys. A lot of people, like, you know, in life, in every profession, you'll find them. There's good therapists, there's not great therapists. And it's the same thing for like doctors and lawyers and butchers and everyone. Like, you just see that everywhere. But like the bad thing too is that like those few people just like, why do you have to like ruin it for everyone else, you know? Like that's why we have so much stigma around like mental health and like being a geek, which is part of like the reason why I wanted to like make this podcast, just to tell people, yo, if you're geeky as hell, you're cool, you know? Because we didn't, I don't know, a lot of us didn't really get that growing up, but it is cool to be a geek.
Destigmatized,
Yeah.
bruh.
Like, oh, just those poor people. And I really liked how Chopper was like, oh, he was like so cool, like such a good doctor. And then after he realized how like screwed up he actually was, Chopper was like, you know what? F you. I don't care. I'm gonna take you down, bro. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Chopper, respect.
Yeah. Chopper right there holding himself to the ethics that, well, he will hold everybody else to. He's not willing to do or to make sacrifices. He will search everywhere else for the cure.
Yeah. Now he's a good doctor.
He's the
Even
best
though he was
doctor.
like randomly experimented with Frankie's like thing when he was giving him like random ass like juices for him to drink just to see how he'll react. But
Hey,
that's
that
just for
was
fun, you know, curiosity.
just curiosity,
Yeah.
you know? He's just a little guy. Come on, he's just a little guy.
So let's talk a little bit about Robin. She was very closed off at the beginning. And she didn't really do much. Like, yeah, she will fight with the crew. She will like answer questions, stuff like that. But she was basically like more like in the background. But I felt like after Enies Lobby, like she's more like in the forefront now. Like
Yeah.
almost like she is like now, like she's kind of like Usopp, where she is proud to be part of the crew now. She considers to be herself part of the crew, and understands that everybody considers her part of the crew. You know?
Yes, because she no longer has to be afraid to let herself be to express herself, because she knows that everybody in the crew not only expect her to express herself, but also kind of like encourage her to do so.
Yeah, and her opinion is always welcome, right? I mean, she's like incredibly smart, and like just every time like I learn more about her, the more I like her, bro. Because then I freaking realized that she can like basically manipulate all those. Because you know how that she has the 1,000 or like 100 like flower thingy, you move hand thingy that she
Yeah.
does, like that's so cool. But then it hit me. I was like, bro, she has to control every single hand, huh? Because they sprout in like different places.
I didn't think about that. I just think that they just do what she wants, and it's kind of like a will thing, that she just puts her will within those extra sprouted ligaments and just does whatever, again, what she wills.
Oh, so it will be more like, hey, I want 100 hands to wrap wrap this guy and take him down, as opposed to be like, this hand will be right here on the shoulder, and this hand will be on the head, and this hand will be in the mouth, like that.
I think it started out like that, but then after a lot of practice, at that point, it was just like an automatic kind of thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Where like she's like so good now that she can like control like just a bunch of hands. And I'm like, sometimes I have trouble controlling 2 of my hands.
That's because you have ADHD.
Like yesterday, I accidentally hit you.
Yeah. She accidentally on purpose,
I used it on purpose.
almost murdered me.
I thought you were like moving away because I saw you like turn around and like starting to walk away.
I turned the upper half of my body to the right ever so slightly, and then you were like, this is my chance now.
David, it is your fault for not following the script that I have in my head, okay?
No, that's dumb. You're dumb. Get out of here. You're fired.
Yeah, I know. I just think his thing is cool. Hey, so I was paying attention to the there is like no like, oh, let's move on to the next topic. I just immediately start the next topic. Yeah, that one's done. Let's not talk about this one. You know the cover pages thingy? I don't understand. You know how that guy that they fought in Skypiea or Sky Island? Wait, Skypiea, right? David, are you listening?
Yeah, but I am not processing what you just said. Can you repeat yourself so I can cut you off in the middle and go like, oh yeah, I remember
Okay.
that.
The evil guy that like light was his power, you know?
Oh, Enno?
Yeah. You know how he ended up going to the moon or whatever for like some reason?
Yeah.
Um
But that was his dream. That's like the entire reason why he was being a bad boy.
well, that's dumb. He could have been a good guy and still got into the moon. Fuck.
No, but then like, he has a god complex.
Yeah.
So, no.
Anyway, so he made it to the moon and he made people. Are they robots or are they okay? So I understood it as there were some robot people there that were like adorable, and then they were being hunted by this guy who like destroyed their doctor that they had, and then they were trying to get revenge but they couldn't. But then that evil guy showed up and like killed it for him, and then so they were like, oh, thank you so much, and then showed him like the history of their people in the moon. And then it turns out the people with wings used to live in the moon, but then they went to Earth. Were those the Scapians?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so
That's
cool.
exactly what happened. They are quite literally moon people, which means that they aren't from Earth. They are aliens. And not only that, I think a little bit later, you do see space pirates, like straight up from space in spaceships.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I know, right? I fucking love how Oda just builds an entire world and goes like, hey, by the way, guys, One Piece, but in space.
I love that. I love that so much. I was like, wait, are they robots or are they like aliens? Like, what's going on? And then I kept on reading, and then it got to like them showing like their backstory to the guy, and I was like, what? But I also kind of had to move away because I was like, wait, this Halloween story over here is also really good. I don't have time to process what's happening. So I'm just going to like quickly write a note, think it's cool, and then move on. Also, David, you know how I was like, oh, like, feel sad for the animals that got like experimented on and brought back to life or whatever.
Yeah.
But why does it always have to be spiders, bro?
Every time, all the time. If you want to make some creepy, you add spider.
No. Well, yeah, but no, because they're creepy and I hate them.
I concur. I do not like spiders. That's about it.
So creepy and crawly. Ugh.
Creepy and crawly and all over the place, and then you're like, ugh.
I had a nightmare
Stop it.
once that they were. I know there's jumping spiders, but in my nightmare they were huge spiders and they were like jumping really high. That was like the worst nightmare I've ever had.
You know they use pressure
No, I don't
within
want to
their
know. I don't want
bodies
to know.
to do
I don't
that?
know. I don't want to know.
It's
I don't
whack.
want to know anything about spiders. I had a friend who was like, "Look, this spider right here balances a drop of water in its head, and it's so cute. Want to see a picture?" And
It's
I
a
was
little
like,
hat.
"No,
Come on, Lise. It's just a little guy.
no. No, I don't care how cute spiders are. I don't care."
Ignore your phobia. It's a little
I
guy.
met another friend who also likes spiders, and I'm like, yeah, never talk about spider, never show me your spider. We can still continue to be good friends. That's it. No spiders.
But Robin's sense of humor, am I right?
Wait, yeah, I think that's why I brought it up, and then I forgot to mention it because she's been so snarky. I love it.
Not only that, like, I love her jokes where she would just scare the shit out of everybody else, the ones that scare easily. And obviously for her, it's like straight up a joke. And then the only other person that calls her out on it is Frankie. She's like, Robin, why are you scaring him that much? I mean, I know it's funny, but like, don't take it too far, okay?
There was this one, what was happening? There was this one part that I really liked too. Oh, towards the end, when she was like overhearing like Sora's secret, from like the guys that watched everything happen.
Yeah.
And then she just kept it to herself, and I was like, but she's just so cool because she's kind of like a spy, but like a good
Yeah.
spy.
So who knows about what happened?
No, wait.
It's-
No, I want to like talk more about that, but I still have other notes. Hold on. Because then we're gonna skip to that, and then we're gonna like, oh, let's go back to my dumb notes. No. Let's get my dumb and funny notes out of the way, and then we'll talk to the good part.
Let's skip real quickly. Dude, one of my favorite moments in this arc is Brook and how he basically carries himself throughout the entire arc. When he's just kind of like walking around humming his song, and then he does like one of his techniques, which is like so fast that it just looks like he's walking even though he's cutting everybody up. And then by the time he gets to the other end or sheathes his sword, everybody's been like fucked up.
You've seen those like TikTok videos, right? Where like people like cut something in half by like just opening up like or like unsheathing the sword a little bit and then like putting it back in.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of those times where like I think I would have benefited from like seeing the fight, like actually seeing it.
Yeah, that's what I said to watch those episodes, and you were like, nah.
I forgot.
Hey,
But I also wanted
a serious issue in my head that makes it really hard for me to remember things. That's you, by the way.
you know what's funnier? You have the same serious issue that you're making fun of me for.
Hey, that just means I can, in fact, make fun of you for it and not get in trouble.
You're like, I understand how you feel, so I can make fun of you now.
Yeah, I cannot be canceled by the internet now. That's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Wait, what we're talking about? We're talking about Brook.
Yeah, Brook is
He
cool.
is. I like the fact that he was just like, he wouldn't really answer the crew's question, and then he was like, I would love to join your crew, but I can't, and then he just like showed up, and he was like so nicely dressed, and he was kind of like swaggering over here and there, and then like making jokes. But the jokes
How
were
can
not
you have
funny.
someone look like they have manners, but then like they have absolutely none of them?
Like the whole like, oh, can I see your panties? I'm like, dude, what? No, just no.
You know, motherfucker's fucking insane.
But then if you think back about how long he's been like by himself, I'm like, yeah, it's a wonder he really doesn't have a lot of social skills anymore. He's forgotten.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's exactly what Oda did and why he does these running gags with Brooks specifically. Because he's like, yeah, this guy is crazy. Like, he's gone crazy. He's kind of like teetering in the edge. Maybe a couple more, like one more decade, and he would have fucking lost it.
Yeah. Like like at the end when he was like just so grateful that things changed, I was like, bro, I get you. I get you now. Yeah.
And he was just so happy to be alive.
Dude,
and I
for
was
real,
like, oh my
to
god.
get his shadow back, to see the sun, dude. It's the little things I tell you. It's the little things that you miss for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I thought was like super funny? It's like
What up?
when Nami, you know the boar lady or whatever.
Oh, Lola.
Yeah, how she was like going after Nami, but then Nami ended up befriending her and giving her advice on how to marry like an unwilling person. And I was like, Nami, I thought you were good. And she's like, nah, just make sure he's asleep and then you can marry him. And I was like, dude.
It's like, dude, knock him out. Get him in the getup. Do the thing. No, she literally told him what Absalom was gonna do to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he heard, right? He heard
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's why he used that. I really like, I just wanted to point this out. I'm not going to go into this mental health rant anymore, but, because I already did one. But I really like how the board started crying when Nami was like, I get you and I support you. And I was like, because like it's just when someone says something validating to you like that, when you says, oh, you're right, or like you have the right to be angry or sad, you just like, I know, right? But it feels so good to be able to do that.
It is a validation that not a lot of people get,
Yeah.
which sucks because it's not that hard. It's like, yeah, I understand what you're doing. I get like the feeling. I've been there before. And if I haven't been there before, yeah, that sounds like shit. You should be angry at that.
Exactly. And now I'm gonna demonstrate how to do it. David, you have really awesome hair. I love it.
No, stop it.
One day, David will learn to take compliments. In the meantime, I will continue complimenting him. You know what? You talked about like the trope. I don't know what you were talking about. Oh my gosh. Like I'm not retaining any information right now. So whatever. But one of the tropes that I wanted to talk about is how the strongest in the crew were the ones that got captured first. Yeah. You know, like the zombies and the three-headed dog, they were like, oh, you strong. I'm piecing out of here, right? But then they're the ones that got caught first for like a dumb reason, you know?
They are the strongest for a reason. No one said they were the smarter ones.
but I just like the rest of my note is like and I'm pretty sure this is just like One Piece in general, where like the strongest of the crew always get captured, they learn the plan, and then they just like take names and kick ass.
Yep, pretty much. And then like they just kind of blow the plan apart and still kick ass.
Yeah. Hey, you know how I kept like forgetting Moria's name, and then I think I ended up asking you, yo, is this the evil guy, right? And then you're like,
Gecko
yeah,
Moria.
yeah. And then I was like, you know who he reminds me of? Draken from Kim Possible.
Oh yeah.
Like, I could not stop seeing Draken, and like also like he was kind of like dumb as well a little bit. So I was like,
well, not really. Moria was a little bit more intimidating. The problem with Moria is that he was in fact full of himself.
yeah.
Draken is dumb and full of himself, but he's also dumb.
True, but like I don't know, I didn't feel scared of Moria because I just kept thinking of Draken.
That's because you were thinking of Draken and not Moria. Doy.
Yeah, anyway, so that's why it wasn't like scary. He was just so evil and I hate him.
Yeah, he did a bunch of fucked up shit.
Okay.
Like seriously
Let's
fucked
move
up.
on
Like, God
to something
damn.
else I found funny. You know when Oh no. When I think it was when Luffy like first disappeared, and then we all realized sort of like, oh, but can I just say, and I want to give myself a pat in the back because I'm pretty sure I like guessed the plot of this arc correctly, like before it got to it. Remember when I told you about it, that I thought that like they were capturing people, keeping them somewhere, and using like them to like maneuver the zombies? Yeah, so I called it. Not perfectly because I didn't know like the people just like went away, or like how the ghosts or like their shadows were taken or whatever, but I'm good, okay? I guessed it. I called it. Anyway, so then when like that got revealed that like Luffy was like Shadow was going to be taken, and then he was going to be like given to like some random like super strong zombie that they had, I was like, bro,
At least Moria recognized the fact that Luffy was in fact the strongest in the island. Bard Moria.
yeah.
So he thinks.
Yeah, but I also thought, I was like, yo, Luffy Shadow Zombie is either gonna be like strong as fuck, or like so dumb. And he was both. He was a little bit
He
of
was
both.
a little bit of both. Yeah.
I just love that he just woke up and he's all like, I'm hungry, give me meat.
Feed me. And they're like, this guy doesn't even have a stomach, and I don't think he can even taste anything.
No, okay, so that was my other thing. Like, Brooks keeps eating and making all these jokes about him being dead, but does he actually consume the food?
Yeah. Didn't you hear
No.
him? What was Luffy's first question?
I forgot.
Does he poop?
Oh, of course he would be.
And he answered, why, yes, I do.
Ew. That took me
Yeah,
a while to process.
that means he can digest somehow. I'm going to say devil fruit shenanigans.
That's
how.
what I was gonna say. Yeah, just some magic from the devil fruit or whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I thought it was like really cool how Brook ended up finding his like shadow zombie and fighting him.
Yeah.
And then he was so like, oh, are you gonna cry not to like rip your afro like you did before? And then Brook was like, nah, bro, I ain't running away no more. You know? And I was like, hey, I really love that part because it's so relatable, I think. A lot of the times, you know how people are like, there's this, I don't think maybe as much, or maybe it's just like the people I hang out with, but you know how there was this huge thing like a few years ago where they were like, oh, video games are horrible and they're making people into killers and whatever, you know? And it's like, no, it's not video games. And I still think a lot of parents are like, oh, video games are not good for you. And I'm like, there's a lot of things that you can learn from like watching TV or like playing video games, or, you know, playing D&D. There's so much that you can learn, but there's a difference between using those things as self-care and using them to sort of run away from your problems, right? So if you're like gaming like 24/7 because you are like struggling with this one issue and you don't want to confront it, that's like running away from your problems. It's not self-care anymore, right?
That's just doubling down in the mire of muck that you are currently in, instead of doing something to move away from it.
Yeah. And so I really liked how Brook just said, hey, I'm gonna face my problems head on this time, because I think he got like that courage from the crew, right? From
Oh,
seeing them
absolutely.
fight.
After they fed him, after they gave him so much hope and happiness, he's like, I have to actively do something now. I can no longer drag my feet.
Yeah.
How surprised were you that he can run on water?
What? Wait,
You didn't
no?
notice? He was skittering on water because he's so light. Because he's a skeleton. Yo ho ho ho.
Oh, like
ho.
skipping a rock, like he was doing that?
No, he was just kind of like skittering.
How did I miss that? Is it like a one panel thing?
Kinda. Or not really. They openly talk about it after it happens. So this is the scene, right? After they do all that, he's like, well, I can't stay because, you know, I have to take care of some stuff. Maybe afterwards I'll like join. And then he jumps off the ship, not to his ship, but like just to the ocean. And they were like, oh no, he's a devil fruit user. He's gonna drown. and then they see him like skittering away, running on water, and then he's just like laughing to himself, doing the whole yo ho 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 thing, and then they're like, "What the fuck? He can do that?"
Oh no, bro! I totally missed that. I saw the part where he like hid something in his like skull. I saw that, and they were like, "He can do that." And then Luffy was like star like shining in his eyes, or stars for eyes.
He was like, "Yo!"
Hey, so I have a question here, because then
Yeah.
like Moria also wants to be like the Pirate King, right? And at one point he says, "Oh, just make me the Pirate King already."
Yeah.
So is the person who finds the One Piece become the Pirate King?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were kind of like separate, like just whoever was the strongest was the king, and then just whoever got the One Piece was the luckiest or whatever.
Well, think about it. How strong do you have to be to reach the last island where the One Piece is? Not only do you have to sail a literal sea of monsters, but you have to also go up against pirates who are desperately looking
David,
for
hold
the
on, hold
treasure
on.
as well.
I have like another question though, because
Yeah.
like, so what's the new world is like? What is the new world again?
The New World is the second half of the Grand Line, and they call this first half of the Grand Line Paradise.
Vinland.
Now remember all the fucked up and messed up shit that happened in the first half of the Grand Line. All of the weird, crazy things that ended up happening in the beginning where the weather was like insane, right? And how powerful the monsters were there then, right? Now imagine the second half of the Grand Line where it's called the New World, and this half is called Paradise. Like, how insanely
Wait a minute. So like
crazy is
the
the
area
next half?
where like the crew is right now is called Paradise?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wasn't clear to me. I was kind of like really confused because I think I need like to see a picture of the Grand Line again, like just to get like an idea. So far they've crossed like a bunch of weird shit, and that's called Paradise. And then so in order to
Yeah.
get to like the New World, there's even going to be like I guess people are going to have to level up to be able to make it there, right? But then it's the One Piece supposedly is past that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's at the end of the New World.
Oh, okay.
And that's why it's so like that's why the person to find the One Piece will be the strongest, because they have to go through all of that plus the government plus the four emperors, and the four emperors have been like said that they are the strongest pirates. Like nobody fucks with these
bro,
guys.
so is the Navy base in the New World?
Currently, no.
Like where you're at? Yeah.
Where I'm at, yeah.
No, because what's the guy with the Bible again?
Kuma.
Yeah, when he
Bartholomew
showed up
Kuma.
at the end, he was like, well, he was talking to Carp, and then he was like, "Oh, did you just let them go because they're coming closer to the Navy anyway, or something like that?" And I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, to get to the New World, I think the Navy base is close to the area where the New World should like where you have to go to get to the
So
New
at
World.
this point, like of the story where I'm at, the Navy's trying to make a base in the New World, like heading there to make a base, like that.
No. They already have a base in Paradise. It's just at the end of Paradise. So to get past
I see.
into the New
Okay.
World, they have to pass the Navy.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Back to the actual arc, I guess. So I have this thing where I was like, oh yeah, I made a comment about how even Luffy Shadow wants meat or whatever, and then I was like, wait a minute, is Zoro lost or did he get captured? Because that was like the time where he was just gone for a very long time, and like we didn't know what happened to him.
Yes.
And then I was like, later on, obviously, I realized the question to this. I mean, but I was like, it could be both, you know? The possibility of him just being lost is very, very high.
and the possibility of him getting captured because of booze or something like that, it's just as high.
Wait, who was singing? Oh yeah, yeah,
Brooke?
Brooke. When he was like scared, he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sing." You know who that reminded me of? A Runt from Chicken Little. Just sing
Yeah.
a song, like just sing a song. It's cute. I like that.
We talked about how Frankie just was able to build a very beautiful bridge or do his airwalk technique.
Oh.
No, it's
I,
called
I
like
don't have any
Skybridge.
notes for that, but I remember like you mentioning like wanting to talk about that, and it's like
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny because like everybody was like having a serious conversation about like, oh, we need to find the crew or whatever, and then they turn around and then Frank is over there building like a really nice bridge that was like a little too nice for just they just needed it to cross, you know.
Yeah, they just needed something basic, but he was like, nah, 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 nah. We need some flair. And I like how he was disappointed with it. He was like, if you gave me a little extra time, I probably could have added like a bunch of more stuff and decoration too. And they're like, dude, why'd you even decorate it to begin with?
I love that. And then later on, when he just makes like the stairway to heaven thing, that, I was like, how is
Yeah.
the thing even functioning? Because he was like, I was like, no, bro, like there's no way that can hold
The
you.
fact that he got that high to begin with is insane.
with just like planks.
Yeah. And a couple nails too.
He was like around the same time where they were fighting that giant Luffy, right?
Yeah, that's when he
Yeah,
pulled
yeah.
it out. And not to mention his ultimate technique that didn't really get that much recognition, I
That was
believe.
what I was gonna mention because he was so dumb. He was basically doing Power Rangers.
They were
Yeah,
ducking.
and then I just love Robin. She's like, no, that's embarrassing, and I'm not gonna do that. That was just so funny. And then she's like, never ask me to talk again.
It's like never say those words in that order to me ever.
Yeah.
I like how immediately after that, Sanji and Zoro were like, "Fuck, this was lame."
Yeah, like they didn't.
Like they couldn't figure it out earlier.
I like how they were like, Frankie was like, boys, get ready. And then Sanji and Zoro were like, okay.
They were like, "Yeah, yeah, this is absolutely gonna be something powerful." And then Robin's like, "No, you guys don't understand. That looks fucking stupid." And they're like, "Ah, shit."
Even when they were like,
But robot dog.
even when they were like a robot, they were still super small compared to like zombie Luffy. So. And like they put the two strongest ones in the bottom. What the hell?
That has the fucking
Yeah.
feet. Like if Zoro was an arm and Sanji was the legs, I'd understand. Yeah. But nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
that was so funny. And you know that meme where it's like, oh, no, I seen this meme for like Avatar: The Last Airbender with Sokka and Aang, where they're like together, they're like so dumb, and like not even one brain cell sharing like goes on there, but like separately, they're so smart.
They're
Yeah.
so skilled. They have a lot to being recognized for.
That's basically how I see Sanji and Zoro now. Like just together, they're dumb, and like once they get separated, they're like, oh yeah, or
It's like, no, you don't understand.
they're
They
good.
brought each other down.
Basically.
They're that dumb.
Oh, okay. So, you know how later, like when I guess Team B gets captured and their shadows taken, and then like
Yep.
Team A makes it back to the boat. Do you remember how the zombies pose Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro?
Oh yeah, they put like a bunch of shit on them. And they start drawing stuff. I think they added like some chopsticks up their nose or something like
and
that.
then they like, yeah, it's just so funny.
They try to wake him up however they can. It's like, wow, he just can't wake up.
It was so funny. I just love. Okay, so there's this TikToker that basically he does this bit where he pretends to be like a personification of the states, right? Yeah, and it's so funny because so he pretends to be like the government, and then he always tells Florida, like, "Hey, Florida, how do you call like Oregon or whatever, right?" And then like Florida will like say something dumb, and then like the state of Oregon will be like, "Hey, shut up" or whatever, and come to defend whatever, right? And then I was like, that totally reminded me of like his like TikToks because that's what happened here. Because like with one sentence, Usopp was able to wake all up, like basically their powerhouses woke up with the sentence, "Look, there's a beautiful female sword master carrying lots of meat." Like that's all it took for them to wake up.
That's all they need.
And I was like, bro, it's like again they're like sharing one brain cell, and it was just so funny because like okay,
I repeat myself. That's all they need.
because I was like, okay, in my head for some reason, because you know how Zoro's like quiet most of the time, and I don't really pay a lot of attention to the way that he's drawn because I don't pay attention to a lot of details. But he's kind of more like this you know who, kind of like a Keanu Reeves kind of character where he's very quiet but very cool and very very skilled, right? But then when he woke up, he was like, "Sword masters, swords, I like swords," and I was like, bro, my respect for you kind of went down a little bit because you're so dumb.
But then at the end,
Wait,
this
not
shot
that yet. We're not there
straight
yet.
back
We
up.
still have a few more.
Like Nightmare Luffy.
Wait, I have like 3 more things. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I'll just try. Most of them are like super funny things I liked. Well, this wasn't funny, but dude, when the backstory got revealed that Brook is the friend, like the whale friend, Laboon's friend, I was, bro.
He's the one that Laboon was waiting for, and Laboon had all confidence that they were in the other side of the Grand Line in the new
Bro,
world.
I couldn't remember if that was the name of the well, so I just remember like I read this and I like booked it from the room, and I was like, David, is Laboon the well? Is this who it is? Is this what I think
Yes.
it is? And I
Yes,
was like,
it
oh,
is.
it's so cute.
It is one of the most beautiful moments, and the best part is the people that he tells this to don't know who Laboon is. And so the readers do. The rest of the crew does. Not these two,
Okay,
though.
but-
And you're like, holy shit, if he told Luffy, oh my god,
Right, that is
bro.
exactly what I was thinking. But I was also like really happy that the crew who didn't actually know about it ended up telling the crew that actually did. Because there's so much miscommunication that happens often between the crew because nobody ever talks. They just punch people. But I'm glad that this got communicated ASAP because everybody needed to know.
Absolutely.
So there is this one like 2-page spread. I think he does that quite often. Oda, where he just kind of has like a random sort of like poster looking page in there.
Yeah.
And in it, Sanji and Frankie are wearing shorts, which is fine. I don't care. But it's really weird how they seem to only have hair below their knee.
You mean
No,
Sanji?
Sanji and Frankie, both. And then I was like, huh?
Because they're French, and one of them is
What
American.
does that have to do with anything?
They're hairy.
Yeah, but why only below the knee? Like, because you can still see their thigh, but that didn't have any hair.
You do know people grow hair in different ways,
No,
right?
it's weird. I don't like it.
Like for some people, they have crazy amount of arm hair, but everywhere else, fucking naked.
But I thought it was just so funny.
Like I have hair all over my body. It's just not a lot of it. It's like very thin.
I just thought it was funny, and I was like, it just looks like they forgot to shave. Like they shaved their thighs and they forgot like there's more leg, you know?
I don't think they remembered or even know they could shave. They were like, you know what? Nah, I don't feel like it.
Then later on, I just thought how it's funny how they decided to go back and get everyone's shadow, like for realsies this time. And then Sanji, he was just so mad because somebody was trying to marry Nami. I just thought it was funny. He couldn't even talk. He was so mad. And he was just in the background, like you can see them like a...
He's just making noise, and he was like, ah, ah, ah.
I just thought it was
This is like burning
hilarious.
up even hotter and hotter. I loved it.
And
was
then
great.
Usopp, like I just love because okay, now they've gone through something like a bunch of some things that were like horrible, and they got closer as crew, which I love that. But I feel like a lot of them are speaking their mind a lot more. And then Usopp's like, none of you understand the concept of danger, so be careful. And I was like, yes.
Be very,
Yeah, 'cause
very
that's when
careful.
everybody decided to like split up, I think, and do different things. Yeah.
Again,
And I was like, bro, this is supposed to be the like the Halloweenish sort of like arc. Bro, don't you know anything? You don't get separated, bro. That's the dumb decision. That's what Usopp was like. None of you understand what danger is.
you guys just don't understand, guys. Come on, man. You can't just keep getting away with it.
Oh, you know what I really liked too was that
What's
that
up?
Moria was kind of shown to be like the opposite of Luffy, where he was just kind of like trampling on people to try to become the king of pirates, and Luffy is like earnestly trying to get stronger and better to become the king of pirates.
Yeah, he's actually trying. He's not gonna cheat it. Everybody thinks that they can cheat their way to become the king of the pirates, but that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Even like Moria was so he wasn't gonna make it.
I
no.
mean that's why I mean that's why he lost the fight, right? Because obviously he was just depending on everyone else to do his work for him, and he never really tried to like improve himself or anything, so he sucks. And I just love how he was like, oh, you can't even touch me, and then Luffy like jumps down and then kicks through the concrete and then hits him. He's like, I thought I couldn't touch you.
Just beats the shit out of him. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, and you wanted to be the king of the pirates? Nah. Step down.
Yeah, and then I think the scene after that is where like Sanji goes to rescue Nami, and then Sanji's like, "Oh, she looks so pretty," and then him and the lion dude are both like, "I know, right? She's so beautiful."
They're all like complimenting. And it's like, no, not you. You can't compliment. No, you can't
Yeah, they were
compliment.
just like fangirling, and I was like, "Bro, like lives are a danger here. Like, hurry the fuck up. What are you doing?"
It's like, bro, people are dying. Calm down.
Yeah. And they're just like, oh, she's so pretty in this dress. Yeah, but then he got like super creepy. Like, Sanji's still my favorite, and I'm just gonna like kind of ignore how creepy he can get, because then he was like trying to explain how he was better, and then no, when the lion told him that he ate the clear fruit, and he's like, that was my dream, because he wanted to like sneak into like girls' locker rooms basically and like look at them when they change, and I was like, bro, that was low. That's so low. No, Sanji, no, stop it. Where's my
Yeah, a lot
water
of people
squirty
don't
thing?
like that. But at this point, I'm like, that is a Japanese joke, and I'm not Japanese, so I'm not gonna really comment other than not my cup of tea.
Just don't be a creep, Sanji. How hard is that? for Sanji's really hard. Oh, you know what I noticed too? That Usopp ended up, when he got really really scared, I think he was fighting by himself in this one point when he was like, you guys can leave, I'll take on this girl, right, like the ghost girl. But then he realized he was kind of screwed, and then he put on the mask. Yeah, that mask, I felt like it was kind of like his lucky charm, like the thing that gave him sort of like that strength to keep on going.
It's more of a crutch, though, because if he relied on it too much, then he would not have basically had all the what's it called? What is it when a character gets better over time?
Improvement or like character development.
Yeah. It would like have undone a lot of his character development for
Well,
from
if
the past
he never
bit.
took it off and continued to pretend that he was like a different person, I would agree with you. But the fact that he just kind of uses it to sort of like give himself like strength when he's by himself, I think it's good. I agree with you though that if he were to use it too much or like depend on it too much, like think, oh, if I'm not wearing the mask, I'm not as good as a shooter or whatever, then that can get really dicey, because if he were to like lose it or it breaks or whatever, then he's like, oh, without it I'm worthless, right? Because we can get to that point where that happens. But I wanted to talk about this really quick sort of like side story, because I thought it was really cool. and I'm gonna start like trying to do this for my own sort of like anxiety. So again, like I said, I was listening to Trash Taste, and they had this Japanese idol that they were interviewing, and she, not only was she pretty, but she was so funny. And she was talking about how she came out and talked about how much social anxiety she has. And then they were like, wait, how do you have social anxiety and you're an idol? Like, how does that even happen? And then so she went through her whole story, and like the ways that she goes about sort of like dealing with her anxiety, and like the reason why she actually wanted to tell the fans and everyone she worked with about it, because now she has more help, right? And whenever she's about to get sort of like a panic attack, she has people there that are gonna help her. But then she was talking about that when she is on stage, a lot of the times that she pretends that she's kind of like a spy that's there to try to figure out like how things work backstage, and that's what gets her through the performances. And then so that's kind of what I see Usopp doing in this case, where he was just kind of like pretending to be something just to he can get through it. But it's not necessarily him thinking like, oh, I don't have the power, or is this mask that gives me the power, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, that is beautifully said. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you so much. I'm actually really, no, you know what? Yeah, I am proud of myself, because I didn't go off on this like weird ass like rant like I normally would.
Oh, and now you're going off in a rant.
Dang. I killed it. Dang it. So close to not. You know that board that people use are like, oh, 0 days without an incident. For us, it's gonna be like, oh, 0 minutes without going off on a rant.
Well, damn.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. Like, I lost my microphone cord because I was trying to stand up, and I was trying to like brag about how I have this arm thingy for the microphone, and I was gonna stand up because I'm tired of sitting down. Because this is almost like, it's getting close to 2 hours that we're talking, and I get really excited about this next one, so I wanted to stand up, but then like the thing disconnected. But we're not connected again.
You fool.
Wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. So then we're finally at the part where like Moria gets confronted by Chopper, right? And then like Chopper was like, bro, you lost all my respect. And then Moria drops this one. I have a quote for you, David. Ready?
Okay.
Go ahead and respect me if you want to, but you have no right to be disappointed in me.
Oh shit!
What goes through your mind when you hear that?
No, I can't be disappointed in you, because I expect you to act bare minimum like a fucking person, and if you can't do that, you are disappointing.
But see, that's the problem though, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, because oftentimes we have expectations. Oh, perfect example. You know how I was like, bro, yesterday I didn't mean to hit you. You didn't follow the script that I had in my head for you, so it's your fault.
Yeah.
So that's basically what Moria is telling Chopper. So Moria is basically you, and I'm Chopper, right? Chopper is like, well, you didn't follow the script in my head, so it's your fault, right? You are like a bad person, and because of you, I'm not respecting you anymore. And then Moria's like, I was never a good doctor. I was never a good person. Why are you trying to
wait, Moria or Hogback?
Wait, no, I'm confused.
Hogback is the doctor guy. Moria is the big fat guy that looks like an onion.
I wrote it wrong.
Oh no!
But it was the doctor. It was the doctor.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Hogback.
Moria. Scratch that. Sorry, I got confused because Moria is like a easier name for me to pronounce and remember than
And Hogback isn't?
Hogback. I just forgot his name. Okay, he's Draken. Because that's all I could think, and then I couldn't remember his name. Anyway.
Wait, that's the guy you were talking about that reminded you of Draken? I thought you were talking about actual Moria, and then I was like,
wait.
well, I mean, I guess.
Oh my gosh, I'm confusing myself again.
Dude, you're so dumb. Get out of here. You're fired.
No, everybody looks the same, David.
How do they look? One of them is a big, enormous fucking guy. The other guy is a small little guy that looks like a potato with legs. Like really long legs for some reason. I think he has fishnets too. I
Wait,
don't know. He's a little weird like
wait,
that.
hold on. Who's the one that looks like a vampire?
Is he the doctor that?
I'm looking at pictures now, but I don't know. I don't know which one's who.
Well, because Moria kind of has like this bat motif, and Hogback has two sharp front
Wait,
teeth.
Hog has the glasses, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the small guy.
No, yeah, Moria. Moria is the one that reminds me of Draken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yes.
I don't see that.
Yeah, he fucking looks like, I don't know. He looks like Draken to me. He has like Draken vibes.
Hogback has Draken vibes because Hogback's a fucking idiot that is also a genius.
Wait. But the quote that I said just now, that was Hogback.
Yeah.
That was actually Hogback.
Yes.
I wrote down Moria, but I was wrong. That wasn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, that's what we're trying to say, right? That we kind of push our expectations on other people, and then we blame them when they fail to meet them. And then Moria was like, bro, no, I can't be responsible for whatever fantasies you have in your head of me, you know? Like, it kind of reminds me
Moria?
No, Hogback, the doctor.
Yeah, you said Moria.
No, did I keep doing that?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
You're gonna need a rubber band, and every time you fuck up, just.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. I'm just not gonna use names anymore because I confuse them. Literally.
Just call them what Luffy will call them. Onion?
I don't remember what you call them.
Onion.
Oh, who's Onion? The doctor?
Who looks like an onion?
I don't know. Bro, I don't even know what they look like, okay? It's either the doctor or the evil guy.
The big evil guy, not the small evil guy.
Who's the small evil guy? The doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he's literally smaller.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the doctor said that nice quote, and I thought it was just like really relatable and something that we should keep sort of in mind, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of often, that other people are not responsible for the fantasies that we have of them. It kind of reminds me of, like, you know how nowadays a lot of people are like, oh, so-and-so actor is like doing this horrible thing, and I thought they were a good person and they were my favorite. And I'm like, well, again, they're not responsible for whatever fantasy you had about who they were, you know? If they were like a bad person, they've always been a bad person, you know? It's not out of nowhere.
Yeah, that is a point of view that I didn't take into consideration. And now that you say it, I think I'll just move forward with that in mind.
Yeah. I think the biggest one that got to me was when, because I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and when the whole thing came out with, like, for the author of how she was not really understanding or trying to understand a certain community that was part of the LGBTQ, I was kind of like, oh, that's sad. I still like the work and everything, but I never had like, oh, this, you know, she was a genius or whatever. So yeah, I try to keep that in mind, because I do have like my favorite actor and stuff, but I do realize that a lot of whatever I know about that person is like brief instances. Like, it's not like we're BFFs, you know, that I actually know their whole backstory and like hang out with them. Like, it's not like that. So I try not to pretend I know what goes in other people's lives, you know. That's why communication is so important, people. Communicate, ask. Anyway, back to the funny things. I like how Sanji and Zoro's zombies fought each other.
How they still bicker even after being extracted from their
They
bodies.
couldn't remember each other, but they were still like, you rubbed me the wrong way, mofo.
It's like, man, I do not like you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, and then this is something that Chopper like yelled at the doctor guy. I think he was like, our captain can get monsters, cyborgs, beasts, and perverts and extremely pessimistic people to work under him. And I was like, oh yeah. Now, put in that perspective, Luffy is a hell of a leader, dude.
I know, right? He can get all of them to chill out and just have a good time, which, let's be honest, is his goal to begin with.
Yeah, Yeah, I love it. It's just like I just thought it was just so funny, right? That even Chopper admits that yeah, you know, some of us are monsters, beasts, cyborgs, perverts, very pessimistic people.
We're all freaks.
But you know, we're the crew. We're part of the crew, you know, and that's okay. I love that. You know how I was like earlier, I was geeking out about how much I love the fact that Lola or that Nami became friends with Lola.
Yeah, yeah.
Like then later Lola came to rescue her. I loved it. No. And then later when Lola got her shadow, they still became friends.
I know, it was so nice
Yeah, I love
to
that.
have like a new friend out there in the ocean trying to get married or whatever.
I like that she kept saying no. I think at the end when Frankie was like, "Hey, I fixed the Brix's boat, so you guys can just keep that one." And then she's like, "Oh, I will marry you." And Frankie was so nice, like, "You're really cool and all, but I can't."
It's like, you're nice, but no, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm in a huge adventure. Later on, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He honestly does give off the vibe that, well, sure, or like, nah.
He's yeah, I can see that. He also reminds me like a surfer dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much like
Dude,
that.
bro.
Yeah, dude.
But like
bro,
the
yeah.
best part of it being the dude, bro.
Yeah.
Like the kind of supportive dude, bro, that you would really like to be friends with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very in tune with his emotions, dude, bro. Yeah. Gum gum butt stump.
Yeah.
I like how the whole crew was like, Luffy doesn't do that. They were concerned about. They were like, wait, I thought we knew, because everybody was like, yeah, we can fight Luffy, like all of us, you know. And then he did the gum gum butt stomp, and they were like, no, we don't know what to do here now.
Listen. This was way beyond our pay grade. What do we do?
Wait, sorry, I was reading one of my notes and I didn't hear what you said. What?
It was of none. I'm not gonna repeat myself.
Yeah, okay.
It was just the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just reading and remembering because like the crew gets like, because then Ors gets stuck like upside down, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so funny because once the crew realizes that he's stuck and he can't get out, they all have like the evilest face. And
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, it's our turn now, motherfucker!"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
it
Oris
was
is
so
like, "Wait, hold on."
And then at the end, he's all like, how can you guys like beat up on a person who's like down or whatever? And I was like, bro, you're just so strong. And again, I think we're getting to the part that you really wanted to discuss, but almost not quite. I liked, again, Zoro did something, I can't remember what, but it was basically knocking sense into people because Luffy wasn't there. Oh, it was when everybody was fighting zombie Luffy, and they were like, yeah, nah, he's too strong, we can't fight him, might as well just like run away. And then Zoro was like, no, I trust Luffy that he'll do what he so Zoro was like, no, I trust Luffy, but I'm gonna still fight, and in case I like die or whatever, like I trust Luffy will take care of it. But he didn't really take care of it. Luffy, I mean, because
Yeah.
he got tricked. But I think that's also something that Zoro pointed out. They were like, Luffy's biggest weakness is that he gets tricked. And how do these people fight? They use tricks. So like, I'm just gonna keep fighting and do the best I can until Luffy gets his shit together, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that part. Also, do you know or has Oda ever said who his favorite character was?
I think so, but I can't remember.
David.
And I think it's usually like one of those joking answers or something like that.
Like one of those side characters that like only appears once or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that. I just wanted to know that. Oh, you answered this earlier, but I wanted to know because we got to the part where like, what's his name? The Bible dude?
Kuma?
Yeah.
Bartholomew Kuma.
He showed up and he was like, oh yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Teach. Took over for Crocodile, right?
Yeah, he took his spot as part of the Seven Warlords.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, Ace dead. I mean, obviously that got answered later. He's still alive. But then I was like, what's his
Oda's
bounty?
favorite character
Yeah.
is Gaimon.
Who's that?
Remember that little guy that's stuck in a treasure chest
No.
with a big green afro?
No. Maybe if I see a picture of him. Let me see if I can Google it real fast. Oh, I see. Oh, the guy. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was stuck in the island forever, right? And then he
Yeah.
just didn't want to leave anymore.
No, it's not that he didn't, it's that he couldn't. And also he really wanted his
Oh, he wanted to protect it, right?
no, he wanted the treasure that was up a cliff.
But then there was no treasure.
Exactly. So he was literally there stuck in the chest for years.
Yeah, but then when Luffy and them, they were like, hey, we can give you a ride. And he's all like, nah, I want to stay here.
Yeah,
But why?
that's a good ending.
No, yeah, yes, I know. But I forgot exactly why. Because he wanted to stay to protect the island, right?
Yeah, he wanted to protect the rare animals because they were rare. They were like one of a kind.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm remembering sort of correctly. All right, cool. See, it's better if I see them. I can kind of remember. Except for apparently Moria and Hogback, because I still can't tell who they are. Anyway, moving on. Oh, yeah, what's Ace's bounty?
500 million? I think it's 550 million, but I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But it's huge.
Then my next question, guys, is something that, or like my next note, what's something that got answered later? So I'm gonna skip over that because we're already getting at the 2-part and we haven't discussed the one thing that you really wanted to discuss. Right, getting there. Oh yeah. So I really like how people sometimes like hear the name of Luffy and they're like, yay! And then other people get like hella scared. You know, like anytime like the government or like other pirates they hear of Luffy, they kind of get like angry because he's like, oh, who's this like little boy that's coming over here and trying to be a big shot, and then they fight him and then they lose, you know.
Yeah.
But then for other people, they're like, yay, it's Luffy.
It's like, hey, yo, it's the guy that literally liberated a bunch of places from Tyrannica rule.
Right? Yeah, because like that's basically what he did for the Lola's pirates, right? They were like,
Yeah, pretty much.
oh, we heard it was you, and we saw what you did, and yay, we're so happy that you're here. Please help us.
It's like, hey, yeah, no, pirates are banned, but you're cool. Here's some takis.
Some takis. I want some takis.
Please liberate our island.
Okay, so I just love like the extras or like the side characters' reactions to whenever the crew does something inhuman. Like whenever they just like get up, because they were like, oh no, everybody's passed out. But, like when Luffy's like zombie came back to life or whatever, or like got unstuck and everybody was basically like passed out, but then they got up again and then they were like, how are you, like you were all passed out, like how are you like ready to keep fighting? I just love everyone's reactions to that. And that's another way that you can know that how deep into the fandom I am, because I just expect it now. I'm like, yeah, they got up after getting beat down. Oh yeah, I know.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes
it all
sense.
makes
No,
sense
yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah, uh-huh.
I'm on
Who
board.
would not have believed this? They have the will to survive.
And then like the creepy Bible dude, when he was like, yeah, Luffy, I heard the Luffy's crew has some talented people, and they're like, oh, thanks.
And they're like, aw, yeah.
And,
I mean, yeah.
And all the pirates were like, bro, no, there's an emergency here. Just quit getting sidetracked.
It's like, y'all do remember why he is here, right? He wants to kill your captain?
Okay, David. Now we can talk about it.
So now do you know why when I said one of my favorite moments was something almost happened moment?
What?
Yeah, like when you were writing down the notes for me.
Oh,
the other
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, I asked you to write that way.
Oh, is this what you were talking about?
Yeah.
And good thing that you didn't say anything, because I wasn't to that part yet.
Yeah. That's why I told you to write it the way that you wrote it. So this moment, right? This fucking moment, after Zoro finds out he cannot cut through the metal that is Bartholomew Kuma's, well, metal, made by Wapple, strangely enough. Remember that guy? I think it was like Wapple steel, and using that, some Vegapunk was able to make the metal for Kuma and all of his cybernetic bits inside of him. So Zoro couldn't do shit. Remember, Zoro's the guy that can in fact cut steel.
No,
now.
but bro, okay, so yeah, he did, but he got a shot in. And that's when he
Yeah.
saw like that his body was weird, like he couldn't cut
But
him.
it didn't do anything,
I
and
know,
that
I
was
know, but I
terrifying.
still give Zoro hella props for like being able to actually land
Or
like,
to
hit.
stand up to begin with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Kuma didn't even move away. He knew he could take a hit. Because he could have just moved himself away. He could have like dodged. Because he is very powerful to be, let's be honest. But he didn't move. Because he knew he wasn't going to get hurt. And then after that, he was like, or Zoro was like, ah, fuck. What do now? That's it. I got it. Take my head. It's gonna be just as valuable as Luffy. If you honestly believe Luffy is a real threat, then you should honestly believe that I'm a real threat. And if that's the case, then take my head instead of my captain's. And then Sanji comes over and he's like, nah, y'all both crazy. You both have dreams that need to be fulfilled. Take my head instead. And then that's when Zoro's like, no. And knocks him out.
And he just like, okay, I was like, yo, okay, Zoro, mad respect. And then he just like punches. And then he started like, okay, hold on, let me backtrack. I'm just getting really excited
Such an exciting moment.
I can't even talk, man. No, because I really loved it because he was like, he just punched the shit out of Sanji, knocked him out, and was like, turned to Kuma and was like, yo, bro, you know I'm legit. Just take me because I just showed you how I am willing to sacrifice myself to save everyone in my crew. Even if I have to beat them unconscious.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I think this is just that type, I guess, sort of like mentality of wanting to protect each other. That I respect. The whole like fighting, I still, again, I'm a pacifist. I'm not really into that. But I like mad respect for like them wanting to like sacrifice everything to like try to help their crew, you know? I love that. And I don't like the fact that I'm really understanding why you really like Zoro. I don't like this, David. Sanji is supposed to be my favorite, and he kind of is. But he, like, I feel like Zoro is getting up there, and Sanji's still stuck. And Sanji's losing points for being a weird creep.
Sanji's a little bit more complicated and a little bit more nuanced. Because like I've mentioned, I think I misspoke this person's name. It's Melon T, and they had an entire video breaking down Sanji's character and his story arc, right?
Yeah.
And from that, I kind of understood the reason why a lot of people really like Sanji. And it does have to do with little moments. It's those tiny things that me and you would not have been able to notice, because Sanji is more of a subtle character, strangely enough. His growth or his pains, we have seen what makes Robin sad, what her worries were, right? We have seen what makes Frankie's worries. We have seen everybody's worries in one shape or form, including Zoro. But for Sanji, we don't really know what worries him about himself, you know? You don't know what is dragging him behind and keeping him from still feeling as free as he acts.
Well, there is, I mean, that was going to be like something that I realized as I was talking, is that Sanji hasn't had, ever since his sort of like backstory where he was obviously heavily featured in, he hasn't had an opportunity to shine just yet. At the point where I'm at. And I think Zoro has been in the crew a bit longer, so he is getting a lot more comfortable with his place in the crew. And Zoro is like super determined to have to do that, because Sanji's dream is like to go to the All Blue, right? And then so
His dream is to find it, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he is doing something kind of to find it, but it's like a more passive something, because he knows that it's gonna take a long time for him to get there. And for Zoro is like, no, I have to keep training in order to become stronger. And like we see it at the end, later on, like when he wakes up and he's all better, like again he just keeps saying, I'm not strong enough, I have to keep going, right? And then so like for him, yeah, it's more like a physical thing that that we can, I guess, see the progress that he's made. And for Sanji, not so much, because he's just like finding a place, and he is like traversing the sea and stuff, like trying to find it, but it's not like something that he has to constantly be working towards, you know?
Yeah, we don't really see him working towards his dream, but we do see him supporting everybody else's dream.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and part of me was gonna be like, okay, I have mad respect for both of them, but I think they fit into like different categories, you know? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like I can't really, I mean, I kind of did. I said I was comparing them, and one was going up and the other one wasn't. But like they're both in different categories, because I really like Sanji, because Sanji tends to be more I wouldn't say Zoro's not aware. It's just Zoro's not very emotive with his emotions, other than anger maybe. And Sanji tends to be more emotive, and I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He wears his heart in his sleeves 150% of the time.
Yeah, but he's still trying to be like, you know, a better person if hit with the facts, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoy that.
When push comes to shove, Sanji steps up 150% of the time.
Yeah, and I just really like how,
I like how this is a Zoro moment that we're talking about, but we're like focusing on Sanji.
because Sanji's cool. Because I want to continue liking Sanji.
Okay.
And I have
So
this thing.
back to
No, wait, hold on, hold on.
the question that I had in the beginning.
One second.
I will
Wait,
speak over you.
1 second, because I feel like I have this like sibling competitiveness, because I know Zoro's your favorite, so he can't be my favorite too. So I'm like trying to figure out ways to not like Zoro, but the more I read, the more I'm like, oh, but he is really cool.
If you haven't noticed his weakness by now, you will later.
Zoro's weakness?
Yeah. As a character.
I feel like at this point, I think he just sacrifices too easily.
Not really.
Okay, sorry, we were gonna say something, and I interrupted.
How many people have seen that moment? The moment where Zoro takes in all of Luffy's pain. Because we have the two guys that witnessed it.
Yeah, the two
We
random guys.
have Robin, who overheard them talking to Sanji about it, right?
Right?
Sanji. And we also have Brook.
Huh?
Brook.
Brook was awake then too?
He doesn't have eyes. He can pretend to die.
Oh, was he doing it?
He noticed
Was he pretending to die?
everything. He saw all.
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that moment for Brook was the moment where he was like, I can absolutely trust Luffy with my dream.
Bro. I was just about to say that. Cause you can see it at the end, right? Because I don't have a note, kind of. Because then when the crew helps Brook build kind of like a memorial for his crew, and he's there by himself, and then shows up out of like nowhere. Brook almost in a way asks him, right? He's like, oh, they
indirectly he asks him, yeah.
He's kind of like, oh, they said I could join the crew, but like given like a chance for Zoro to say no or yeah, right? Like almost like asking him, like also asking his permission, not just Luffy's, right? So he can see how important like Zoro is as well, and like mad respect too, right? Like he feels
absolutely.
like that respect, yeah, for
After
Zoro.
what happened?
Yeah, for sure. Dude, that freaking fact that Zoro was still standing, bro.
With his arms crossed, bruh.
Of course.
And he was awake during that time. He was still conscious.
Oh, that's true.
Conscious.
You know what I was like? So I saw this video actually yesterday when they were talking about, like, you know, in the UK, those the guards with the red coats and the fluffy like wig thingies in England, that guard the palace or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
know
I
how they're
don't
not
remember the name.
supposed to react whatever you do. So this person was going in detail as to like their training and sort of like their expectations for that post or for that position. And because it can get really hot in London, and they're basically wearing like really heavy, like thick clothes, and like a bit.
Very wintry clothing, yeah.
Yeah, and then so they're told that if you're gonna like just drink a lot of water, because they have 2 hour shifts basically, and they're like if they so they're told that if they feel like they're about to faint, they're supposed to faint while standing. So sometimes they just kind of like lean over, because they have the little house thingy where they stand in front.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to kind of like faint as they lean, so they're supposed to like stay standing. And then I was like, yo, that's what? That's so
It's dumb. That's so dumb.
yeah, see, that's one of the things where I was like, no, I don't understand this, like, Soros sort of like warrior mentality and wanting to be the strongest. Like, I don't understand that. I understand, like, and respect the fact that he has a dream and he wants to do it. It's just, I can't really, like, connect with it, because my dream is kind of like more like Sanji's dream, where it's like something else,
Yeah.
that's not like that. And also, like, I don't really like fighting, so I wouldn't understand that anyway. But yeah, I was like, just after hearing that, like, the people actually go through that now, like, reading like Soros' scene, like how he's just like standing there. Oh, dude, I can't. He's just so cool. I have no words.
It's so fucking cool.
I just can't. I have like nothing else to describe like how cool I think it is.
It's such I guess like the best way for a guy to describe it is such a romantic moment, and I don't mean in the amorous kind of way. I mean in the passionate kind of way, because you get to see Zoro being completely and utterly passionate about not only his dream but the people that he's with.
Yeah, protecting his people basically. Yeah.
Yeah. After that, Brook, his backstory. You should watch it.
So
I highly
I
recommend
think I was
it.
so like engrossed in his backstory that I didn't actually write anything down for it. Because the next thing that I have is like at the end where like Brook is like, oh, join the crew, and then Zoro's like, sucks for you. These people are weird.
Yeah. He's like, nah,
love that.
they're weird. You're gonna have to get used to all of our shenanigans. Our captain's insane, but he's a good guy. We have a weird guy for a cook, but he's like, makes pretty good food, so I guess that's all right. I like how he was kind of like describing them, but also like talking
Shit about them.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I just thought that was so
Brook's
funny.
backstory.
Um,
Fucking sad.
I think part of it, like part of the reason why I didn't write a lot of notes, I think it was because it was sad. And I didn't want to be sad because I was at the doggo park and the doggos were so cute. Because every time I whistle, Blaze like books it like top speed,
Full speed.
like,
That
he
little
has, like,
boy
a smile
knows
on
0
his
to
face.
100, and that's it.
And his like little ears like wiggle. And yeah, so I didn't want to be sad when I was at the park. But yeah, like just if I were to like really stop and think about his like story, bro.
It's fucking depressing.
Yes, majorly depressing. Like, oh, and like,
He goes out to sea with a bunch of other musicians. He meets a whale baby, and he's like, oh, cool, we're all friends with a whale baby now, I guess. His captain fucking dies. He becomes the captain. After that, the rest of his crew dies. And what's even worse, his ship broke down, so he couldn't even navigate it anywhere.
oh, you forgot to mention that he got his thing stolen.
Well, yeah, that was like recently, but like for 50 years, he was alone. Very much so alone.
And for the last, like, what is it, 5? He couldn't even see the sun or enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
The thing that got me, like, Oda did like this really good job, are where he was kind of like having him remember and sort of talk about his crew, and then so he was like, it was kind of like the highlights of them remembering. And then when he revealed that they like recorded like a song all together for Laboon, I was like, bro, nah. Like,
Dude,
that,
when you hear the song, when you hear them falling as they are playing the music, succumbing to the poison. It is so heartbreaking.
I don't want to talk about it no more. It's gonna make me sad.
That's too bad because it's one of my favorite moments. Because after all of that, he meets someone like Luffy who made him want to live so much more.
Yeah, I think that's what earlier I said. I was like, I cannot really understand like how thankful he actually was. Are you crying?
No, I just have boogers.
Ew. It
You
sounded like
asked.
you didn't have to say. All you had to say was no. I'm not crying.
I got a little boogie in me.
Um,
Are we playing any funk? Because I have boogers.
I don't know if it's because you're my sibling and I'm immune, but that wasn't funny. No, dad jokes. It's gonna be like the title of this thing. No dad jokes. Ever.
But
No, just funny
You
dad
won't.
jokes. I love dad jokes, but just those are not funny. Yours was just gross.
or
and
maybe you aren't
Brooks,
funny.
Brooks jokes are kind of like, nah, bro. Like I see what you mean and where you're coming from and what you're trying to do, but nah. It's just no. Nah.
If only Brooke could see that coming. Oh wait, he has no eyes. Ah, got him.
Please, someone back me up. Please, please. Come on, I can't be the only one out here that thinks the jokes are not funny. Or at least Brooks' jokes are not that funny. I wonder
You're
if they were
terrible.
like funnier in Japanese.
You're not gonna understand them because Japanese puns are Japanese.
Well, I know, but like I feel like maybe that's why like I just didn't find them funny.
No, because these are American puns. When they translate them based off of what is the most closest thing or the exact thing. So if a pun just does not work in Japanese, they're gonna have to come up with another one.
You know, I think it's because like we grew up like listening to my mom like speak Spanish and like make jokes in Spanish and whatnot. Remember how I told you that I want us to like rewatch the One Piece live action but in Spanish? Because I don't know, for some reason I feel like it would be funnier. Maybe. Potentially. Because the jokes, sometimes they do have to change the jokes to fit in with like, I guess, the culture that speaks the language. Like you were talking about, because like earlier right now when you were saying, oh no, you know, Brooks' life like sucked, and I was like majorly, and I could only think of like this like Spanish phrase to like describe it. Llueve sobre mojado, but I don't know how to translate that. Like, is there like an English version of that?
Wait, say it again, because I need to take off my.
Llueve sobre mojado?
Llueve sobre mojado?
Yeah.
It rains over the.
Over wet, but like
Over
it
wet.
just basically.
That's a literal translation.
literal
See, that's why
translation.
we can't
But
literally translate
yeah, I
things.
can't think of like an English version of that, but it's basically like it's just like things just keep getting worse, you know? Like for him.
Yeah.
And like finally when he actually did see the light of the end of the tunnel, it was a skinny little light with sandals and like a weird hat and a weirder personality, but like it was just so bright, you know? Like I can understand
Absolutely.
why he was so thankful for that. And he got to see too like the best of the whole crew, you know, like supporting each other and making fun of each other but still like being there. And like, you know, like you said, if he saw like Zoro's sacrifice at the end too, like just yeah, I don't know. Yes. I understand.
No, it is absolutely implied that he saw it. And he witnessed all of that, which is why he has so much respect for Zoro. And here on out, you'll see that he does carry that that respect for Zoro as much as he respects Luffy.
Because again, I feel like kind of like what I was saying with like Sanji and Zoro, they're each kind of, I like them for like a different reason, and they each kind of have their own category that they're kind of like at the top of, you know? And I feel like for Luffy, it's the same. You know, like there's like for the crew particularly, there is a lot of respect for Luffy, even though they all know he's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You know. And I had a point and I forgot it. We'll come back to it.
And it's gone.
Anyway, point being, mad respect for everyone, and it's just like in different categories, you know? Like, Luffy has his own category of greatness, or like reason for his greatness, and so does Zoro.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
I think we already petered out in all that we had to say about this arc, given the fact that Kuma came in, did what he did, and then bounced.
You know what I just realized too, though, is that they're still alive. Cause, wait, no, Kuma's the Bible guy.
Yeah.
What's the other guy?
What are you talking about?
The evil guy.
Moria?
Yes. He was still alive, right? Because then his crew booked it out of there.
Yeah.
Still alive.
He's still alive. Still alive and he's hurt as hell, but he's still alive.
Yeah, but so the crocodile dude is also alive, huh?
Yeah, but in prison.
Well, they tried to bust him out and he didn't want to. But yeah. Yeah, I'm like, I don't like this because I have this feeling that they're gonna come back and it's gonna bite the crew in the ass. Can they just kill him? I'm over here like,
Kill who? Moria or Kuma? Because if it's Kuma, are you kidding me?
no, Moria. Like, finish the job. Dude.
Moria's a bitch.
Well, yeah, but he's just gonna.
No, it says right here in my notes, Moria is a bitch. Therefore, Moria is not gonna be anything.
I know, but like he can still
But a
make
bitch.
like people's lives miserable because he's not like he's gonna stop or like, oh yeah, he like Luffy knocks sense into him and he's gonna turn into a good guy now.
He's not gonna be a good guy, but like he knocked him the fuck out.
I know, but
After all of that, I think Moria just needs to like sit down in a recliner and think about his life.
I know, but I feel like in Batman, you know how Batman's like, oh, I'm not gonna kill anybody or whatever, and then he just puts them in Arkham and then they escape and then do like a bunch of dumb things, and then I'm like,
Yo.
the crew already has a lot of things to worry about. Smaller villains need to just, you know, be killed off. I'm bloodthirsty for evil villains to just die in a fictional world. Because not in real life. That's weird. Anyway, yes, I am really hungry now. And
You keep prolonging it. Hurry up and do the
I
closing.
had last minute thoughts. Okay.
No.
That's all of our thoughts for this video. I said thoughts. Like thought. Wait. What's the next arc?
The next arc after this one is Sabaody
Yes.
or Shabandi. Shabodi. Shababa.
However that is
Soap
pronounced,
Island.
that is the next one, and hopefully I will finish it soon. I mean, very likely because I am very into it, and it's a very short one too. So David has to like, you know, put it on turbo and finish editing all the other videos we already recorded, because otherwise they're never gonna go out. But thank you so much for watching / listening. Hope you guys had a good time geeking out with us. Please help us reach out to more fellow geeks so we can build a really cool community and we can all geek out about One Piece and other things by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. And yes, don't forget to reframe and re-enchant your life.